7.
Yeah, we stopped in the middle.
15, 18, verse 18.
We stopped at
Chapter 15, verse 18.
chapter 15,
The world's
verse
hatred.
17. So now we'll get right into the world's hatred. So John 15, verse 18, page 47, if you have one of these books. If the world hates you, know that it has hated me before it hated you. If you were of the world would love its own. But because you are not of the world, but I chose you out of the world, therefore the world hates you. Remember the word that I said to you, a servant is not greater than the master. If they persecuted me, they will persecute you. If they kept my word, they will keep yours also. So what else did Jesus say? If you're my disciple, pick up your cross daily and follow me, right? So, but all this they will do to you on my account, because they do not know him who sent me. If I had not come and spoken to them, they would not have sinned. But now they have no excuse for their sin. So once people understand, once Jesus proclaimed, they're responsible. They can't say, well, I didn't know. No, you knew. He who hates me hates my Father also. If I had not done among them the works which no one else did, they would not have sinned. But now they have seen and hated both me and my Father. It is to fulfill the word that is written in their law. They hated me without a cause. But when the Counselor comes, whom I shall send to you from the Father, even the Spirit of truth, who proceeds from the Father, he will bear witness to me. And you are also my witnesses, because you have been with me from the beginning. And so the church teaches, this is one of the verses that, and I'm just mentioning this, that the church teaches that the Spirit comes from the Father and the Son. The mission of the Spirit in history is a reflection of the procession of the Spirit in eternity. So Jesus is saying here, right? He's saying, I will send to you from the Father, right? So this may not seem important, but the Orthodox broke off, and one of the reasons was the Filioque. There was also some not so great things happening between the two about 1000 AD, but they believe that God the Holy Spirit proceeds only from the Father, not from the Son. But Jesus says here that I'm sending the Son. So it's kind of, you may think it's semantics, and they still are valid. They're still, they're not in communion with the Pope, but they still have a valid Eucharist. They still have a valid, they're completely valid. And if you're Eastern Orthodox, it's essentially equivalent to being a Catholic for the most part. And they do have most of the same saints. I have actually a saint calendar of the Orthodox Church in my...
Is Chaldean Orthodox?
Christian.
There's a Catholic Chaldeans. Yeah, there are Chaldeans.
They are Catholic. So
yeah, they are.
Eastern Orthodox?
Yeah, Eastern and Greek Orthodox and Russian Orthodox. And that's the tragedy, is that you got people in Ukraine and Russia, and they're both killing each other, and they're so close. I mean, it's just terrible. Really, I hate to see any war, especially amongst, when St. John Paul II went to Auschwitz, he wept because he said these were all done by baptized Christians. And he understood, that, because most of them were Lutherans, and they're incinerating human beings.
Well, I've heard stories of captured soldiers both being Catholics with rosaries and Bibles and everything, praying together.
Yeah, there's some exceptions.
Live.
Yeah.
They would protect a fellow Catholic and keep them from being, sent to a camp or something. Yeah,
Right.
Well, they did a lot of things.
There was a lot of individual acts
Right.
amongst all the evil. Right.
Correct.
Yeah, we just celebrated Maximilian Kolbe, and he gave up his life for a father who had a family, children. And we have a the Knights of Columbus here is the Maximilian Kolbe Council, but he died in, was it Auschwitz or? Yeah, Auschwitz. And he died, I mean, as a Catholic priest. And he gave up his life. And then they put him in a starvation chamber, and they were furious because he was so happy and peaceful and just singing psalms the whole time. And he gave up his life. But amazing saint. Yeah, for a father of four, right? He, plus he was the other things he did in his life was also tremendous. But he started the Immaculati and papers, and a huge community that was very big in Japan and throughout the world.
There's that movie on him that just came out. It's, I think it's on Angel.
Oh, okay.
I would get.
Is it by one man? There's one. There's a guy who does play acting, and he actually was here, and that was the most amazing movie on Maximilian Kolbe. He's a one-man play acting. He did one on Saint Therese too. Absolutely amazing. I forget the guy's name right offhand. I'll think of it. Phil.
Yeah.
So, I have said all this to you to keep you from falling away. They will put you out of the synagogues. Indeed, the hour is coming when whoever kills you will think he is offering service to God. And isn't that what Paul did? St. Paul? Isn't that what Islam's doing for their God? I mean, they're saying, well, kill these Christians. It's for our God. I mean, that's what Jesus is saying here, right? That's exactly. Paul thought he was being righteous by killing the Christians. And they will do this because they have not known the Father nor me. But I have said these things to you, that when their hour comes, you may remember that I told you of them. The work of the Spirit. I did not say these things to you from the beginning, because I was with you. But now I am going to him who sent me. So remember, this is Jesus' dialogue right before, this is his last words right before the Passion. So this is the last words, his last conversations with his apostles. And so it's very important. All the things that he's trying to, he said, I'm going to Jerusalem and I'm going to die. And he said, nobody asked me, where are you going? But because I have said these things to you, sorrow has filled your heart. Nevertheless, I tell you the truth. It is to your advantage that I go away. For if I do not go away, the Counselor will not come to you. But if I go, I will send him to you. And when he comes, he will convince the world of sin and of righteousness and of judgment. Of sin, because they do not believe in me. Of righteousness, because I go to the Father, and you will see me no more. Of judgment, because the ruler of this world is judged. And once Pentecost happens, what happens? We become filled with the Holy Spirit. Before Pentecost, we did not have the indwelling of the Holy Spirit. Now, all of us have been, we received the fullness of the Holy Spirit. The same Holy Spirit who rose Jesus from the dead is in all of us, dwelling within us. We're temples of the Holy Spirit. And so we need to act like it, right? I mean, we're temples of the Holy Spirit. God's dwelling within us. We're his children. He's dwelling within us. Just realize that. If you just think of one thing this week, think of that. God is dwelling within me. God, the Holy Spirit, dwells within me. Isn't that amazing? I mean, we have God dwelling within us. Mm-hmm. And that's why Jesus said it's better that I go, because then Pentecost can happen. Because think about what happened before Pentecost. All the apostles were afraid in the room, they're hiding because they didn't want to get killed. They were scared. They didn't understand, but once Pentecost happened, they were filled with the Holy Spirit. They went out in the streets, and 3,000 people came into the church that morning. I have yet many things to say to you, but you cannot bear them now. When the Spirit of truth comes, he will guide you into all the truth, for he will not speak of his own authority, but whatever he hears, he will speak, and he will declare to you the things that are to come. He will glorify me, for he will take what is mine and declare it to you. All that the Father has is mine. Therefore I said that he will take what is mine and declare it to you. A little while and you will see me no more. Again, a little while you will see me. So after he rises from the dead. Some of his disciples said to one another, what is this that he says, a little while and you will not see me? So they're asking about his passion and death. And again, a little while and you will see me. And because I go to the Father, they said, what does he mean by a little while? We do not know what he means. Jesus knew that they wanted to ask him, so he said to them, is this what you are asking yourself, what I meant by saying, a little while and you will not see me, and again a little while and you will see me? Truly, truly, I say to you, you will weep and lament, but the world will rejoice. So when he was crucified, they all wept and lamented, but all the world was rejoicing. You will be sorrowful, but your sorrow will be turned into joy. Once he rose from the dead, your sorrow was turned into joy. When a woman is in labor, she has pain, because her hour has come. But when she is delivered of the child, she no longer remembers the anguish for the joy that a child is born into the world. So he's making that comparison. There's this pain, but then there's this greater joy because you have a new life. You have this baby. So you have sorrow now. I can't relate to that, but just the pain anyways. That's, I guess, the point I'm making.
You never will.
No, I said the closest thing was going through the catheter and all that stuff down. That's the closest thing I can relate to, and probably doesn't even compare. So you have sorrow now, but I will see you again, and your hearts will rejoice. And no one will take your joy from you. In that day you will ask nothing of me. Truly, truly. Listen again, he says, truly, truly. That means this, listen, this is important. I say to you, if you ask anything of the Father, he will give it to you in my name. Until now, you have asked nothing in my name. Ask, and you will receive, that your joy may be full. Is he talking about asking for all the crazy, like, oh, I'd like to win the Powerball or something? No, he's not. He's asking, he puts it in a different context about asking for the Holy Spirit, right? We should be asking for the conversion of other people. We should be asking for greater faith. We should be asking for the salvation of our family members. These are the things we should say in Jesus' name, please. We should be asking for the conversion of leaders, right? Of ourselves. We should be asking these things in Jesus' name. These are the things of God that we should be asking for. We should be thinking of the things of heaven, not of the things of earth. And then our joy will be fulfilled, full. Is our joy full if we're thinking of the things on earth? No. And we know that from a few people. Think of, Solomon, the wisest man who ever lived, right? What did he have? He had all the money, all the pleasure. He had 300 wives and 700 concubines, or the other way around. It's hard to keep them all straight.
I don't think it matters at that moment.
And he had all the riches. He had all the knowledge. And he said, vanity of vanities, it means nothing, right? Because that's not the things of God. Because our heart is empty until it's, my soul is restless until it rests in thee. St. Augustine said that. So we have peace for his disciples. I'm going to try to get through 16 here just so I make certain people happy. Huh? I have said this to you in figures. The hour is coming when I shall no longer speak to you in figures, but tell you plainly of the Father. In that day you will ask in my name, and I do not say that to you that I shall ask the Father for you, for the Father himself loves you, because you have loved me and have believed that I have come from the Father. I came from the Father and have come into the world. Again, I am leaving the world and going to the Father. So it's very clear. I mean, how does one read this and not understand that Jesus is from the Father in heaven and going back to the Father in heaven? His disciples said, now you are speaking plainly, not in any figure. Now we know that you know all things and need none to question you. By this we believe that you came from God. Jesus answered them, do you now believe? The hour is coming, indeed it has come, when you will be scattered, every man to his home, and will leave me alone. Yet I am not alone, for the Father is with me. I have said this to you, that in me you may have peace. In the world you have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. So what did Jesus, why aren't we in good cheer? Jesus has overcome the world. He's saying, be of good cheer, I have overcome the world. We may look around and say the world's a mess, right?
But we know who wins.
Right, we know the end of the book, right? And we also know that God's dwelling within us. We know that we're in the state of grace, right? We're in the state of grace, and if we die, let's say they kill us, torture us, cut us into little pieces, well, that's great. We're going to heaven. It may be painful at the time, but that's temporary. Because in 100 trillion years, that's not even day one in eternity. So...
when you get like that.
It came up the story a little bit.
We'll end
Just a tiny
there.
bit.